You're not gonna hurt me. I'm part of you.
Step back into the blood-soaked glory days with these 10 scary 80s horror movies that still haunt us today. Packed with twisted visuals, brutal practical effects, and raw terror, these forgotten gems from the decade of fear still know how to mess with your mind. Number 10. Sleepaway Camp. Angela, a painfully shy teen still traumatized by a childhood tragedy, is sent to Camp Arawak with her hot-headed cousin Ricky. At first, it seems like a typical summer retreat, but as cruel bullies and suspicious staff close in, a series of bizarre and grisly deaths begins to unravel the camp's fragile peace. The film unfolds like a sun-drenched nightmare, where even the most mundane moments, cafeteria lunches, swimming lessons, and cabin gossip, become steeped in menace. Whispers spread, trust erodes, and no one can guess who's next or why. Directed by Robert Hiltzik, Sleepaway Camp is a cult classic that transforms summer fun into an unsettling descent into fear and confusion. Number 9. Cujo.
Oh my God, I'm losing my baby. Oh my God!
Donna, a weary housewife juggling a fading affair and an anxious son, takes their sputtering Pinto to a small-town mechanic for repairs, unwittingly stepping into a nightmare when the friendly St. Bernard, Cujo, is bitten by a rabid bat and begins a terrifying transformation. Trapped inside their car under the relentless heat, Donna and her frightened boy Tad find themselves besieged by a once-beloved pet-turned-murderous beast, as the world outside remains oblivious to their invisible horror. The film's terror builds not on grand supernatural forces, but through suffocating isolation, human frailty, and the claustrophobia of being hemmed in by something so ordinary turned monstrous. Number 8. Silver Bullet. In the quiet town of Tarker's Mills, a wave of brutal killings begins to shake the community, each death more savage than the last. As fear takes root, young Marty, confined to a wheelchair, teams up with his protective sister Jane to uncover the truth behind the bloodshed. With the help of their eccentric Uncle Red, the siblings begin to suspect something far more sinister than a human killer, a creature lurking in the shadows hunting with animal fury. The town spirals into hysteria as superstition, grief, and denial cloud the facts, leaving Marty and Jane isolated in their quest. Directed by Daniel Attias, Silver Bullet is a suspenseful coming-of-age nightmare soaked in fog, fear, and fur. Number 7. Scanners.
Oh, help someone, please.
In a cold, sterile world where scanners, humans with telepathic and telekinetic powers, are both feared and exploited, a wandering psychic named Cameron Vale is recruited by a shadowy corporation to stop a dangerous rogue with powers like his own. Trained to harness his volatile abilities, Vale is drawn into a secret war where loyalty is uncertain and the battlefield is the mind itself. At the heart of the chaos is Daryl Revok, a powerful scanner whose escalating attacks threaten to ignite a psychic arms race among clandestine factions. As Vale digs deeper, the line between predator and pawn blurs, and every encounter pushes his mind to the edge of collapse. Directed by David Cronenberg, Scanners is a chilling collision of body horror and cerebral suspense, where a stare can kill and silence screams the loudest. Number 6. The Entity.
And they will find more than evidence. They will find.
Carla Moran, a struggling single mother striving for a better life with her children, begins experiencing violent, inexplicable assaults by an unseen force in her own home. As the attacks escalate, leaving bruises, bite marks, and shattering her sense of safety, Carla is met with skepticism by even those closest to her, including her psychiatrist, who suspects her trauma is psychological in origin. Refusing to be silenced, she turns to 2 parapsychologists, believing something malevolent is stalking her from beyond perception. The home, once a refuge, becomes a prison of fear where whispers, cold spots, and invisible hands twist reality into a living nightmare. Based on a controversial real-life case and infused with gritty realism, the film blurs the line between supernatural horror and human disbelief. Number 5. Prince of Darkness.
Prebiotic fluid. It's not winding down into disorder, it's self-organizing.
A priest discovers an ancient cylinder of swirling green liquid hidden in the depths of a decrepit Los Angeles monastery, and calls on a group of quantum physics researchers to investigate its secrets. As they uncover cryptic symbols and equations in ancient texts, The team realizes the cylinder houses something far more sinister than a myth. A sentient, liquid incarnation of pure evil, bound in material form by science and faith. What begins as a curious academic experiment quickly devolves into a nightmarish lockdown, where the possessed attack, the homeless gather like silent thralls, and the boundaries between matter and antimatter begin to unravel. Number 4, the Blob. A meteorite crashes into the outskirts of a small California town, releasing a writhing, acidic mass that consumes everything in its path with unrelenting hunger. When a vagrant becomes the first victim, high school outsider Brian and cheerleader Meg start to unravel the deadly truth. The amorphous creature is not just an alien anomaly, but a biological weapon fueled by radiation, and it's growing, absorbing townsfolk and terror alike. Panic spreads as classrooms, clinics, and diners transform into uncanny feeding grounds, and the survivors, armed with fire extinguishers in desperation, weight the odds of survival. The Blob is a slick, fluorescent nightmare that transforms innocence into panic and small-town Americana into viscous terror. Number 3, the Fog.
Dan, stay away from the door! Someone listen to me!
On the eve of the centennial celebration in the coastal town of Antonio Bay, a spectral mist rolls in from the sea, creeping over rooftops with an otherworldly glow that signals long-buried sins coming back to life. Local radio host Stevie Wayne and weary Father Malone discover that the town's prosperous founding was built on a betrayal. 6 conspirators doomed a shipwrecked crew to secure gold and cement the town's wealth. As the living fog envelops streets and sewers, the vengeful spirits of the betrayed return, exacting deadly retribution under the cover of murky haze. The Fog is a chilling parable of reckoning and remorse, where the past arrives not with thunder but with mist, and vindication smells faintly of salt and decay. Number 2, Re-Animator.
Lately, they're getting out of hand.
In the shadowy halls of the Miskatonic University Medical School, ambitious medical student Herbert West arrives with a twisted curiosity. A serum capable of reanimating the dead. Partnering with his timid roommate Dan, West's experiments begin with rigor mortis in lab rats and escalate into grotesque resurrection in human form, sending severed heads and reanimated corpses loose upon an unsuspecting city. As each revival goes horribly awry, the cadavers crawl back with eerie life, while their creators scramble to contain the chaos before their own impulses are monsterized. Re-Animator reawakens mortuary nightmares with manic energy, black humor, and the grim thrill of life after death. Number 1, the Changeling. John Russell, a grieving composer who lost his wife and daughter in a tragic accident, seeks solace by relocating from New York to a sprawling old mansion in Seattle. But the house he hopes to call home brims with whispers, shaking windows, and the haunting melody of a piano playing itself, signs that the building harbors more than echoes of the past. As John digs deeper into the mansion's unsettling history, aided by estate agent Claire Norman, he becomes entangled in a decades-old tale of a murdered child, buried secrets, and a powerful figure determined to keep the truth hidden. Directed by Peter Medak, The Changeling is a chilling, sorrow-laced seance of regret and revelation, where walls listen and vengeance refuses to stay silent. Here are 4 other movies you have to see. Monkey Shines.
Instinct to kill.
What the hell are you doing to her?
After a devastating accident leaves him paralyzed, a former athlete is gifted a highly trained service monkey named Ella to assist him. But Ella's bond with him deepens unnaturally, and through bizarre experiments, she begins to act out his suppressed anger with deadly consequences. Deadly Friend.
Hey, girl.
You're so cute.
Teen genius Paul revives his recently murdered crush using a robot's AI chip, turning her into a deadly, unpredictable force. As she struggles between humanity and machine programming, her violent retribution escalates, blending young love with cybernetic terror. The Beast Within. When a teenager begins suffering terrifying changes in behavior and body, his parents discover he may be linked to a dark event from before his birth. As his transformation grows more monstrous, a horrific family secret rooted in murder and possession unravels. Galaxy of Terror.
They're out there.
It's been waiting 1 billion years.
A space rescue team lands on a desolate planet to investigate a missing crew, only to find their worst fears manifesting in physical deadly forms. Trapped in an alien structure that preys on the psyche, the crew is picked off by personalized nightmares. A surreal sci-fi horror blending gore, dread, and cosmic terror.
I don't like this change in you, Alan.